From the moment the cameras started rolling, there was something different in the air. The courtroom had its usual hum, papers shuffling, quiet chatter, a few murmurs from the audience, but beneath it all was tension. The kind that makes you lean in without realizing it. Everyone could sense it. This wasn't going to be an ordinary day in Judge Judy's courtroom. The doors opened, and in walked Karen. Chin high. Lips tight. A designer jacket catching the light with every confident stride. She didn't look nervous, far from it. She walked like someone stepping onto a stage, not into a court of law. Every movement was deliberate, every look calculated. Her eyes scanned the room, landing briefly on the plaintiff, then on Judge Judy's empty chair. There was a smirk on her face that said, "This is going to be easy." She adjusted her bag on the desk, planted her hands firmly on the table, and exhaled loudly. Even before the case started, she was already sending a message: "I'm in control here." The bailiff called for everyone to rise as Judge Judy entered. The entire courtroom stood immediately, except for Karen. She hesitated, looking around like she was deciding whether or not to bother. Finally, she stood, but not fully, her posture lazy, disrespectful, defiant. It was subtle, but Judy noticed. She always noticed. The judge's sharp eyes scanned the room, then landed on Karen. For a second, nothing was said. Just a look, calm, assessing, the kind that strips away the masks people wear. Karen tried to hold eye contact, but there was something about that stare, centuries of discipline behind it, that made even arrogance blink first. She looked away, pretending to straighten her papers. The introductions began. The plaintiff, a quiet, patient man, explained how Karen had failed to pay rent for several months, had damaged property, and had turned every request for resolution into a shouting match. While he spoke, Karen sighed dramatically, rolled her eyes, and at one point even whispered, "Oh my God, he's lying." The microphones picked it up, and the audience shifted uncomfortably. Judge Judy's pen paused mid-note. She looked up. "Miss Karen," she said evenly, "you'll have your turn to speak. For now, remain silent." Karen gave a half-smile. "Sure, Your Honor. Just saying." That tone, part sarcasm, part challenge, was all it took. The tension thickened. Judy nodded once and returned to the plaintiff's statement, but you could tell, she had already made her mental note. When it was Karen's turn, she wasted no time. "Honestly, Your Honor," she said, leaning forward, "I don't even know why we're here. This is a waste of time. I've done nothing wrong. The landlord's just trying to make me look bad because I stood up for myself." Gasps rippled through the courtroom. Judy tilted her head slightly, resting her chin on her hand. "A waste of time," she repeated softly. "Explain that to me." Karen smirked. "Because this whole thing is ridiculous. I paid what I needed to pay. If something was broken, that's on him, not me. I'm not a pushover, Your Honor. I know my rights." It was a bold performance, confident, smooth, unpracticed. But underneath the words, Judy heard what most people missed: insecurity trying to sound like power. "Do you have proof of those payments?" Judy asked. Karen hesitated, then said, "I mean, no, but I don't keep every little receipt." "Who does that?" A few laughs came from the back row. Karen smirked, thinking the crowd was on her side. But Judy wasn't smiling. She leaned forward. "People who want to win in my courtroom, Ms. Karen." The laughter stopped instantly. Karen's expression flickered, but she pressed on. "He's just mad because I told him to fix things before I pay again. If he did his job, none of this would be happening." Judy nodded slowly, jotting something down. "So instead of paying rent, you decided to stop altogether?" Karen crossed her arms. "Exactly. I had to make a point. If you don't stand up for yourself, people walk all over you." It wasn't just defiance, it was pride. Pride that blinded her to the fact that this was a courtroom, not a debate stage. As Judy questioned her further, Karen's story began to crumble. Each time she denied, the evidence contradicted her. There were text messages, signed agreements, even screenshots of her admitting she hadn't paid. Still, she doubled down. That's not what I meant. You're twisting my words. You don't understand how it happened. Judy stayed calm, her voice steady, precise. She didn't argue, she exposed. One question at a time, she peeled back the layers of Karen's arrogance, revealing the truth beneath. Finally, Judy said, "So, you admit you withheld rent?" Karen shot back, "I wouldn't say withheld. More like, paused." Paused? Karen nodded confidently. "Yes. Until he fixed things." "So you decided unilaterally to rewrite the lease?" Karen blinked, unsure how to respond. Judy smiled faintly. "Interesting approach to the law." The audience chuckled again. Judy didn't. Her tone shifted softer, sharper, like a blade sliding from its sheath. "Ms. Karen, the law isn't based on feelings. It's based on facts. And right now, the facts aren't on your side." Karen's smile faltered. She tried to recover with sarcasm. "Well, maybe the law should change then." That did it. Judy leaned back, pen tapping lightly. The air went still. She looked at Karen for a long moment, expression unreadable. Then, finally, "Ms. Karen, are you done?" Karen shrugged. "Depends. Are you going to actually let me talk this time?" The audience gasped. It was like watching someone walk straight into a lion's den and poke the lion with a stick. Judy didn't flinch. Her voice dropped to a dangerous calm. "You will speak when I ask you a question," she said. "And when you do, you will answer that question, nothing more." Karen walked out without saying a word. The cameras caught her glancing back once, maybe out of regret, maybe disbelief. But one thing was clear, she came in thinking she couldn't be touched. She left knowing exactly how wrong she was. And as Judge Judy's gavel came down for the final time, the audience stood in silence, knowing they had just witnessed something far greater than a verdict. They had witnessed justice, delivered with precision, patience, and power. Because in Judge Judy's courtroom, words may echo, but truth always lands hardest.